Annapolis is a charming city on the Chesapeake Bay. With a rich history, great shopping, and expensive but good food, the Maryland capital is a city I really enjoy visiting. At only 35 miles or 56 kilometers east of Washington, D.C., you'd think it would be an easy getaway. But I live car-free. Very easy to do in D.C. with the metro and the bicycle lanes, but transit access to Annapolis is, to put it lightly, inconvenient. The Maryland Transit Administration does run buses between the two cities. I've been on them before, but they are commuter buses, so they come into DC in the morning and leave towards Annapolis in the evening. Not suitable for day trips. And they don't even run on the weekend, which is when you'd want to do a day trip. There is an alternative route. Take a train from Union Station to BWI Station, take the airport shuttle to the airport terminal, take the Baltimore Light Rail to Glen Burnie, then a bus to Annapolis. And I've done this too, but what an effort for what could be just a 45-minute drive. But since this is America, let's look at the private sector. Look up DC to Annapolis bus on Google, and there's one option a day, a Flixbus. Intriguing, because I have a confession. I've never actually been on Flixbus before. Anywhere. Ever. So yeah, I wanted to go to Annapolis anyway, but I booked this to finally be able to say I've been on Flixbus. I mean, Flixbus has been around for a little over a decade. I've had this channel for a little over a decade. They started out in Europe when I lived in Europe, and they came to the US a year after I did. With their global presence and our similar stories, it's pretty wild that it took so long for our paths to finally cross. But now, Lindsay and I are at the bus station on top of Washington Union Station, lining up for the once daily departure to Annapolis. You know, these tickets were cheap, $12 a person, booked the day before. Did you know that Flixbus doesn't run any services themselves? They provide a booking system and branding, but they contract smaller companies to actually operate the services. This service to Annapolis, for example, was provided by Skyliner Travel and Tour Bus Corporation. Okay, I'm a European living in America, and this is my first time ever riding Flixbus. About the bus, well, what shall we say? Outside has seen better days, but it's the inside that matters. And as far as coaches go, I feel like they're mostly all fine, with some really nice ones. This one's just fine, with decently padded seats, footrests, reading lights. I forgot to check for power sockets. It will do nicely for the next 45 minutes, especially considering how little we paid. Now, this isn't really going to be a full trip report because I feel like you have to go a longer distance to really get the Flixbus experience. But while we're on the road, let's talk a little bit about what Flixbus is and how they came to be such an enormous player in the inner city travel scene. Flixbus traces its roots back to Munich in Germany, where 3 university students were anticipating a big change in the German travel market. See, up until 2013, domestic intercity bus service had been severely restricted to protect the trains of the Deutsche Bahn. But that changed January 1st, 2013. And so that year, the first Flixbus was launched. The original buses were actually blue, not green. The green came after the first big merger in 2015, when they merged with Main Fernbus, the major German intercity bus operator at the time. It was the first of a series of rapid-fire acquisitions. They took over companies like Megabus, Postbus, until in just a few years, Flixbus was responsible for 80% of all domestic bus travel in Germany. And they expanded to almost every other European country, to Turkey, India, and South America. They also entered the railway market, running their Flixtrain brand in Germany starting in 2018. They even ran Flixtrain in Sweden till it was cancelled there in 2024. And in 2019, Flixbus followed me to the United States. I moved to the Midwest, they came to the Southwest, but soon they expanded across the continent. 2021 saw Flix buying the iconic American company Greyhound. So technically I have been on Flixbus, sort of, since I've been on a few Greyhound services. Greyhound buses have kept their branding, but on the Greyhound and Flixbus websites, both options always appear. Many people have complained about the takeover of Greyhound, the most common complaint being the fact that they have closed bus stations around the country. But beyond the Greyhound, Flix has been the subject of much controversy, ever since they've existed, really. There are quite a few accusations of unfair pricing, the disregard for regulations. The English Wikipedia page is basically a long list of accidents that Flixbus has been involved in. But they remain popular because they tend to provide an affordable alternative for long-distance travel. Anyway, with all that being said, we've already arrived at Annapolis, so I leave it to you. Have you traveled with Flixbus before? Where was it, and what was your experience? As always, let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching today. We'll see you next time.